Hi, dear friends and subscribers. Welcome to the Cricket Happening Show. And well, that match which we were all waiting for this one-day international series to end between West Indies and Australia, and everyone wanted West Indies to probably get the victory. At least the West Indian cricket fans wanted their heroes to actually get their first win in a series against Australia after probably 17 years. But unfortunately, West Indies couldn't get that win. They went down by 42 runs in this match. They went down fighting, I would say. They really put up a valiant effort to chase Australia's score of 281, and in the end, they finished short by 42 runs. But what a knock from the captain of the West Indian cricket team, Darren Sammy. He thrashed the bowlers and definitely gave hope to the West Indies, and that was something. It was a real treat to watch Darren Sammy. In fact, he really cracked the ball into all parts of the park. In fact, he really went after the bowlers, and that was a real treat to watch. There was no doubt about that. He really went after the bowlers and literally murdered the bowling. But well, even his pyrotechnics was actually not enough for West Indies to go over the finishing line, because what happened was West Indies were hit by early wickets. Brett Lee came in and picked up the openers. Charles was gone to a top edge of the bowling of Brett Lee. After that, it was Marlon Samuels who was beaten by a ball from Brett Lee. It took the edge, and he was also snapped up. So that really set the stage for Australia, and Australia kept on, strangling West Indies by actually reducing them to 118 for 7 at one stage. But after that, what transpired was something which was really brilliant. I think the spectators would have really loved this, because this is what one comes to watch one-day matches. Even though West Indies couldn't get a win, but what they did is something exemplary. They have actually drew the series with Australia 2-2. So it was a very evenly contested series, absolutely exciting. But what was good was, in the end, it proved that both the teams were equally strong, and it ended in a 2-2 draw. But West Indies take a bow. They did absolutely magnificently, I would say. And just looking at the scorecard, it was West Indies who actually won the toss. Darren Sammy inserting the Australians in, but I will just continue with the West Indies batting card there. So it was not a good start for West Indies, chasing 281, which was set by Australia. Now, as far as Australia were concerned, they had their first century partnership of this one-day international series, and that would have really warmed their hearts there. Shane Watson and David Warner went on to put 118 for the first wicket, and both of them played some good strokes. With Watson's contribution, as a captain of Australia, 66 of 89 balls with 4 fours and 1 6. David Warner contributed a very good 69 of 61 balls with 10 fours, and this was the real aggressive Warner that one saw. Peter Forrest was slow in making 53 of 68 balls with 5 fours. I thought Australia were really doing well when the openers were there, and they had raced 118 in 20 overs. I thought the West Indian bowlers did a good job later to actually restrict the Australian scoring, with Bailey, who has been very consistent in this tournament, was gone a victim of Roche for 19 of 22 balls with 2 fours. Brett Lee was promoted in the batting order, but it came to nothing as Nareen actually clean bowled him. And just talking about Nareen today, Nareen had some costly figures. I'll talk about that later. Peter Forrest's contribution. So actually it was the top half, the first three batsmen who really enabled Australia to reach a score of 281. 66 Watson, Warner 69, and Rob Bailey. It was Peter Forrest who made a very slow 53. Bailey 19. Brett Lee promoted in the batting order was clean bowled by Nareen for 12 of 2 fours. Michael Hussey contributed 25, 28 balls with 2 fours. That was a double strike by Russell at one particular stage when he actually picked up David Hussey, and he also picked up the wicket of Michael Hussey not at the same score. It was Forrest and David Hussey being dismissed. They were dismissed in two consecutive deliveries. Matthew Wade was the one who actually had the Australian score to 281 with some very good hitting there. He carved Roche for a six, and he made 26 of 17 balls, 1 4 and 2 6, and 281 for 9 was the final score for Australia on the board. But I thought it was initially it was a very good partnership, the opening partnership. But I thought the West Indies bowlers did well to restrict Australia. But again, but Australia still managed to reach 281. But I thought West Indies did well to not allow Australia to score 300. Now Kemar Rose 9 overs, no made him 53 runs and 3 wickets. Dwayne Bravo 6 overs for 40. But Nareen, who has been such a big influence on this international one-day international series, was a bit off color today. He served some loose offerings, and Shane Watson and David Warner took a heavy toll of him. In fact, his 10 overs went for 55 runs, but he also picked up Brett Lee, who was promoted in the batting order, and he also picked up the wicket of David Warner. So there were some key wickets there. He had 2 for 55 as his return. His not his best bowling at all in the one-day international series today. Darren Sammy 6 overs, bowled well for 29. Andrew Russell was very costly, 4 for 61, but he got all the wickets there. Marlon Samuels was another one who came in and he kept the run rate, kept the Australian run rate low with bowling 10 overs, the full quota for 40 runs and no wicket. As I was talking about West Indies, who were chasing 281 to get an historic victory here to clinch the series, couldn't do that. They lost their openers very early. They didn't have a good start. Charles was gone for a duck, and Samuels was gone for a duck. So both of them bell to Brett Lee. Darren Bravo continued his poor form in the one-day series, caught behind the bowling of McKay for 3, and that made the West Indian score look 37 for 3. And there were more disaster to follow as Dwayne Bravo, his brother, was looking good on 19 with 2 good boundaries, was gone. 19 of 22 balls fell to Watson, and that made the score 63 for 4. And Edian Bharat, who was standing there, who was waiting there today, taking his time, but as and when he used to get an opportunity, he used to present his bat very well, and used to really stroke the ball very well. He had 6 boundaries in his score of 42 of 74 balls, but fell to a slog sweep shot of the bowling of Xavier Doherty, caught by Bailey, and that made the half the side were in the pavilion for 76. And it looked like West Indies were fighting a losing cause, but with Kieron Pollard still there, hope was still there. So Kieron Pollard came in and he was joined by Carlton Bogg. But Lee came in for his second spell and actually picked up the wicket of Carlton Bogg for 13. And then it looked like when Carlton Bogg left, it was Kieron Pollard and Russell in the middle. And Kieron Pollard then decided to go for the strokes. He hit some 2 huge sixes. But when Kieron Pollard left, on 33, caught Hussey, bowled Watson of 40 balls with 2 4s and 2 6s. It looked like the writing was on the wall. 118 for 7. And after that, from 31.1 overs, at the score of 118 for 7, the captain of the West Indian team, Darren Sammy, came out there absolutely determined. He was talking to himself. He knew he had a mission to accomplish. He went for it, and he decided to use his long handle, and that was what was needed. And what a partnership, an accelerating partnership there, with the lion's share going to Darren Sammy, who took full advantage of the batting power play by clubbing the bowlers for sixes. Brett Lee was hit for 6, and he hit a straight 6 of the bowling of Clint McKay. No one was spared. Watson was hit for 6. Ilfan House was sent over the ropes for a 6. And Darren Sammy was absolutely unstoppable, and they were very determined. Andre Russell also came into his own there, and this partnership yielded 101 runs to really give some cheer to the West Indian cricket fans. And not only that, it actually left a scare in the Australian dressing room as to what is going to happen, because Darren Sammy was stroking the ball absolutely magnificently. And in fact, this 101 run partnership, let me tell you, it came in not even less than 10 overs. So in the 41st over at 219, and another thing was that the batting power play was taken a full toll off by Darren Sammy by slamming all the bowlers for sixes. He had 6 sixes in all. And Andre Russell, once the batting power play was over, Andre Russell decided to take over and started crunching boundaries. But then 101 runs were raised, and the score had reached 219 for 8, for 7, giving hope to West Indies. And as I said, Darren Sammy was absolutely determined. Whatever hits he was hitting, it was all. Sometimes he had put the ball out of the ground, and that was some very big shots. And Darren Sammy can be absolutely very he can really hurt the bowlers. And looking like that, what I see in the West Indies team here, they have three genuine all-rounders: Kieron Pollard, Andre Russell, and Darren Sammy, the captain. So at 219, the 8th wicket fell, and that was of Andre Russell after making 41 of 33 balls with 6 fours. LBW ball Doherty, he was gone. So that was a big breakthrough for Australia, because Australia were really searching for it. What a partnership it was! 101 runs. Let us see. It has. I mean, the 41st over the wicket went. So it's less than 10 overs, just less than, just one ball less than 10 overs, 219 for 8. But after that, Nareen came in. Nareen was out, caught weight ball, McCabe for 7. Sammy continued his stroke making. He was really playing very sensibly. He knew that he had to win, and he did all his best that he could do. And he also got good support from Kemar Roach. He started calming Kemar Roach, because he knew that Kemar Roach might get carried away and try to hit Brett Lee because of the battle which is going on. But Kemar Roach also played with a cool head, decided to wait at the crease. Darren Sammy always made sure that he was taking the strike every time. He did his best, but in the end, West Indies fell short by 42 runs, as Darren Sammy went for a big heave there after hitting a six with the bowling of Irfan Haas. Caught Michael Hussey, bowled Irfan Haas for 84 of just 50 deliveries, 6 fours and 6 sixes. And he also, this was his highest ever score in one-day international cricket, and he also hit the half centuries. 50 came of just 20 balls, equaling his own record that once what he did against South Africa, if I am not wrong. So they finished. It was, and let me tell you, the overs were reduced because of the Duckworth-Lewis thing, because 281 was what Australia made. But in fact, I'm very sorry about that. It was a 30-run victory. It's not 42 runs. They got a 30-run victory. Brett Lee, 9 overs, 3 minutes, 3 for 42. He was doing well, but after Darren Sammy's assault, his figures went for a toss. Irfan Haas, 8.2 overs, 1 minute and 1 for 36. Clint McKay, 10 overs, 2 for 68, was very costly. Watson, 10 overs, 2 for 44. And Xavier Doherty gave away 60 runs and took 2 wickets. And the man of the match went to Darren Sammy of West Indies, and why not? He really deserved it. Player of the series went to Kieron Pollard of West Indies, and West Indies unfortunately failed to make it over the finishing line. Just a quick update. I wouldn't have much time here. I need to end my cricket show for today. Thanks for your company, and see you all tomorrow. Thank you.